Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about HLX. This is actually my second time recording this video. First time the file got corrupted somehow, so here we are. Why is my... Can I fix that? Hold on. I think it's pointing... Oh, that's better. Is that better? I don't know. Alright, whatever, we'll roll with it. So, HLX. I promised, this still feels weird to me. It still feels weird. I'm centered enough. So I've been mentioning a lot in my previous videos. Hey, I'm gonna do an HLX video, and I'm not gonna cover this right now. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. So here's the video. Here we are. Also, when I recorded the previous one, I was like tired and I just sounded really depressed, and I didn't really like that. So basically, HLX. We'll kind of start in chronological order here. What happened? What happened back in 2025 when things were supposed to happen? So, kind of the general knowledge here is that, early 2025, we got the little teaser from Mike Shapiro. Mike Shapiro? Mike Shapiro? I don't know how you say it. Like teasing the thing in the G-Man voice. And so people were predicting, like, I don't know, September, October for like an announcement. We got to like May, June-ish of the middle of the year, 2025. Then people are saying November, December. And then, it snowballed from there. And then we had the whole hopium thing and whatever. And it didn't end up getting announced, obviously. This is actually my first HLX video since late December of last year. So it's been quite a while. We've been in kind of a drought ever since the end of like that hopium shit. Like, this has just been a huge drought, and we're only now in this past month or so kind of getting new shit. So what the kind of the information and consensus is that what happened back in 2025 was that there was a decision to delay the game. That the decision was probably made in October-ish to delay it. And it's because of two things. Two things that are kind of one thing. So the game was clearly uncoupled, or like kind of detached from being announced with the Steam Machine. I know I talked in a previous video about how Gabe Follower said like, "Oh, I don't think HLX was ever meant for the Steam Machine," blah blah blah. And I kind of voiced my disagreement. I was like, I don't know if this is really entirely right. And we're kind of seeing that now, that I was kind of right with that. It kind of was clearly meant to be kind of paired with the Steam Machine. The announcements would have lined up and everything, but now, because even think about just the announcement lineup, they both get announced in like November-ish, October-ish. They both get released in early 2026, but it just lines up perfectly how it would be. But got delayed. The Steam Machine got delayed because of the RAM stuff, and HLX got cut because of that, or partially because it wouldn't be able to be paired with the Steam Machine. It wouldn't be a good look. Because like, $1,000 to the Steam Machine to play Half-Life 3. People are going to read it like that. They're not going to be like, oh, well, you don't need a Steam Machine. People are going to think, oh my God, you need the Steam Machine to play Half-Life 3, and it's $1,000. That's what they said about Half-Life Alyx and the Valve Index, because people are stupid and don't read into things. But so they decoupled it because of that. And then now we're seeing kind of this kind of fidelity update. We're seeing not work done on story and content and levels, but graphical stuff. Adding new, upscaling support. Instead of just FSR like it was before, now it's NVIDIA DLSS, whatever Intel has. Et cetera, et cetera. They're adding support for shit like that. Now the level geometry is deformable instead of just objects, like quality of life things and like kind of physics, kind of like immersion things. So that's kind of what we're seeing, and this is backed up by this code we're seeing come through. We saw a lot of code come through in the new Dota 2 Dark Carnival update, which we're going to talk about with the voice acting within that in a second. We're seeing just a lot of this graphical fidelity stuff, and so clearly they're trying to boost the game up to their par. And obviously it's not limited by the Steam Machine, and the Steam Machine is less powerful than a PS5, which is the case. It's true. And so it could have been where like they were being more mindful. It wasn't limited to this machine, but they were being more mindful of it. But now that they're not kind of paired together, they kind of are just going nuts with it. So that's what we're seeing there. There was all actually to even further back this up, which was not covered in some other shit. This was just came out today. I think Gabe Follower posted this. In the new Counter-Strike 2 update, when comparing these two, like there's like a line of HLX like of code there, like a string. And when comparing it from the previous update to this current update, you can see that they like cleaned it up to optimize the game. So that's actually direct evidence showing that they're cleaning code up and they're optimizing the game, which is a very good sign. That's very good to see. Kind of with the voice acting, I'm going to talk about with the Dark Carnival update for Dota 2. I'm not a huge Dota 2 fan. I never got into it. I'm like Half-Life, Portal, Team Fortress, Counter-Strike. I love Deadlock, any of this new shit, but I just never got into Dota 2. I never got into Artifact. It's just not my style of game. Like that's just not the kind of game I usually play. So I try to get into it. I can't get into it. So I don't know much about Dota 2. I'm not into it at all, really. But kind of the main point of this is not only we got those strings from the Dota 2 update, the Dark Carnival update it's called, but 3 voice actors who voice pivotal characters in Half-Life were brought back at the same time. Were brought back to do voices for HLX. They were brought back for it. And so train of thought there. They were brought back. Now, so just to clarify this, because I feel like I saw someone getting confused with this. The voice acting work was done, a while ago. Like not years ago, but like this isn't like this was done yesterday. This was, a little bit ago. They brought back Merle Dandridge, voice of Alex, the original voice of Alex, not the side note here. So in Half-Life Alyx, for those who aren't keen, although I feel like if you're watching my videos, you're keen to this knowledge. Merle Dandridge, the original voice actor for Alex Vance, who played, Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Episode 2, voiced everything in Half-Life Alyx. Voiced everything. All the voice acting was done. A couple, like in the 11th hour before the game shipped, they decided to have a newer, younger voice actress come in and do Alex's voice and replace all her voice lines, presumably because they wanted a younger sounding Alex. Now, they didn't do a good job of explaining this to Merle Dandridge, which he publicly talked about. And so it's been kind of a concern, like, if she was on good terms with Valve, but they brought her back recently for this, so this is good news. They brought back Merle, voice of Alex, original voice of Alex, which would co-align with the timeline of the game. This is now the original Alex Vance we're going to see in Half-Life 3. They brought back Mike Shapiro. I'm going to say Shapiro. Who voices Barney Calhoun and the G-Man. And then they brought back, this is even crazier, Harry S. Robbins? Is it Harry S. Robin or Robbins? Harry S. Robin brought him back. He's the voice of Dr. Kleiner. So we haven't seen any new voice acting and shit from him in a while. So them all being back at the same time for the update is a pretty guaranteed indicator. Like, yeah, they were doing shit. So another very good sign. To build off the code I was discussing, more information was talked about their physics engine. So I forget this guy's name, but the engine that was used before was called, I think, Rubinic, which was like a spinoff of Box 2D. This guy just now released Box 3D and was talking about it, and they kind of branched it off, and now Valve has their own version of that called Ragnarok. Not a new one, but they're building off of Rubinic and updating. It's not a brand new physics engine. It's an update, kind of thing. So again, that's good. And it says in his description, like, look out for this engine in future Valve titles. The only Valve title in the works right now that would use physics to this level is HLX. Like, Codename TF isn't using this. Counter-Strike 2 isn't using this. Deadlock is not using this. This level of interaction, like fire, water, deformable geometry, etc., is only seen in HLX. Like, that's not in any other game in development. So we know it's for HLX, which is very obvious. We're not, controlling fire and water in fucking Deadlock. Or, well, there's powers like that. I think there's powers like that, but you know what I'm saying. And so all of this kind of begs the question, which we're kind of going to connect to now, what's going on and what's kind of happening. So, um, we were in a dry period for a little while, for a long time. Pretty much up to this point, this entire year was a dry period. We're now kind of getting shit, which is good. Um, so the big question is, when is HLX coming? And the answer to that is, it can be, there's a simple answer and a complicated answer, a more complex answer. Simple answer is, I don't know. Complicated answer is, I don't know, and Valve doesn't know. And I'm going to elaborate on that, obviously. Clearly so in every Valve release throughout history, Half-Life, Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Episode 2, blah, 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 there was always a period, especially in like Half-Life 1, where they developed the game, and then right at the 11th hour, they say, oh, fuck, this isn't good enough. We don't want this. Delayed, and they spend like another certain amount of time, whatever, redoing parts of the game, and then they drop the game. Okay. This happened with Half-Life Alyx. It was ready in late 2018. They decided, this story sucks. Fuck you. They ripped the story out of the fucking game and wrote an entirely new story with the levels already in place, which delayed it to being announced in 2019, like November 2019. That's what happened there. So, that's what's happening here for HLX. The story is not being changed as far as we know. The content's not being changed. This time, this period, which they call it when the magic happens, the Valve has said it themselves, is graphical fidelity stuff. Shit like that. Not, writing a whole new game, but it's graphical stuff. This is that period now after the main development where the magic happens, so to speak. And that's good, because a lot of Valve games hit that point, or they're like, oh, this isn't good enough, and they get canceled. They say, fuck it, it's not good enough, we're trashing it. It's a very good sign that didn't happen here, and that it's surviving, and that the game will be completed. This is a very good sign. And also, there was a rumor going around that there was an entire floor at Valve right now dedicated to HLX. Because Valve is not one building, for those who don't know. They're in a complex, and there are multiple floors. There's an entire floor in Valve that is just HLX, which is incredible, which is great. That's really great to hear. What is this? I feel like this has just got knocked a weird way. Yeah, that's why. Okay, I hit my desk, and it went fucking weird. No, stop. Go over here. Stop. Oh my god. I have to fix my wires. My wire keeps falling. Okay, is that better? Just center. I like to be centered. Get over here. Centered? This is not centered. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Like more. This one. That's not centered either. The fuck? That's centered. Okay, cool. So so that's kind of where we're at with that. It's very good sign it's going to be finished. So, and because it got delayed, it got decoupled, and Valve's working out. Valve doesn't work on deadlines. They have Steam to back them, etc. So Valve works on their own time. So now that it's delayed and that they're working on it, they're going to finish the game, obviously. There's no timeline. We don't have a timeline, really. And the reason I say Valve doesn't even know is because Valve does not know. Valve has no deadline right now. They're just working, and when they feel it's done, it's done. That's just the truth of it, honestly. That is just the truth of it. No one knows anything right now. This is just true. Anyone trying to say, I know this, I know that, blah, 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 fuck you, you're lying. Nobody knows anything except for Valve employees, and they don't even know when it's going to be done. They might have a little mental guess, but they're not planning out a deadline. That's not how Valve works. So anyone claiming that is a fucking liar. I want to make that very clear, because people say this shit online. Oh, it's coming this. Nobody knows. Not even Valve knows. So get that through your fucking heads. It's just the truth. Anyway. So my fucking red alarm flashing thing here, my guess, grain of salt, don't take me seriously, don't quote me on this, don't hold me accountable to this. my guess for the release announcement time, in my opinion, is late this year, Q4 this year. I'm saying that because every time Valve's done this, like this magic period, which is pretty much for every product, it's been about a year delay. That's how it's been for pretty much every single Valve game. It's been about a year, and we saw it with Half-Life Alyx. It got delayed a year, like that, and it makes sense since they usually announce shit like that around those months. It was supposed to happen last year at that time. And again, we're not going off. The delay didn't start now. It started in like October of last year. Before we even knew there was the delay happened. So, a year from then would be Q4 of this year. Like October, like September, October, November, December, like that quarter there. My guess, and again, there's nothing supporting this. This is just honestly the feeling I have about it. And from what we've seen in the past, my guess is that it will be announced late in Q4 this year. I have a very strong feeling about it. I don't know why. Again, don't hold me accountable to this. I am not saying I'm right. This is my opinion. I think it will be announced Q4 of this year, and then released in Q1 of 2027. I don't think it's going to be a 2027 announcement. It could be. I could be wrong. It could be, but I think it will be announced Q4 of this year. I think that timeline makes sense, especially if they're not rewriting shit and they're just doing graphical stuff. I think a year from like October of last year to Q4 this year, I think it will be announced Q4 of this year. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. That is what I think. I'm emphasizing it could be wrong because I don't want people to watch this and be like, oh, he said this. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying this is my opinion. This is what I think. So, that's kind of where we're at with HLX. Been waiting to make this video for a while. And it's a waiting game. Again, be careful who you listen to. You guys know me. I don't bullshit. I get information from, the big Tyler McVicker, Game Follower, whatever, the big sources. And anything that's not from big, like well-known, trustworthy people, I triple, quadruple check it. I don't fuck around. I don't spread misinformation. I don't lie to people. And when I make a guess, like I just did for the Q4 thing I just said, I'm emphatic about the thing. I am guessing. This is just based on my observations, my opinions. I'm not saying it's true. End of story. Don't put fucking words in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a waiting game. Nobody knows. Anyone saying they know is a liar. Unless it's like fact checked by someone and whatever. But that's not going to be coming from me. It's going to be coming from someone who has a bigger following than I do. But yeah, we're in the home stretch. Is kind of the fact here. We've gotten past the main development period. We're now in the magic period, as I call it. We're in the home stretch. Once they're done, getting everything up to speed, doing all the graphical fixes they want to do, and making sure it's, in their opinion, good, it'll be announced. We're almost there, guys. This is the closest we've been in a very, very, very long time. We're almost there. It's just a little while longer. I think it's going to be a bit while longer, but not as long. Like I said Q4 was my guess. Again, I could be wrong. That was my guess. Again, I think it's going to be a little while, but not as long as people think it's going to be. It's not going to be a fucking year. I don't think it's going to be like a year. You get what I'm saying. Like it's going to be a little bit, but not as long as people feel like it's going to be. I appreciate you guys watching me and listening to my crazy fucking ramblings. I'm very passionate about Half-Life, about Valve. I always have been. I've always been this way. And I love talking about it. So, I'm happy to be here and doing this shit with you guys and, posting my opinion and my observations and shit like that. I would like to data mine. I've been getting into game development recently and, coding and shit like that. And I would love to data mine and do a stream like that, or off or streams whatever. Like there's a Deadlock update, there's a Dota 2 update, whatever. I would love to do data mining streams. Where we do that because a lot of people do that. I would love to do that. Be kind of cool to get my own findings. I'd be interested, so I'm gonna kind of look into that and see what I think. But you know, I'm just here for the ride, man. I'm a listener. I'm a customer. I'm a regular good people, just like you guys. It's like um, and I like to emphasize that too. I don't want anyone thinking I'm like some fucking insider. I'm not. I don't have any sources that I talk to who are like at Valve directly. Like I'm not some big fucking, and I don't want to paint that picture. I don't make that clear. Actually, like I am not some big fucking macho insider leaker guy. That's not what I am. I don't think anybody thought that, but I don't want anyone who doesn't know my content clicking on me and being like, "Oh, well, this guy knows shit." I don't. I simply take information that I see, people information that's been released by big people, information that I've checked myself, whatever. I kind of put it all together and I put these videos out, and then sometimes I add my little opinions in, but I make it very clear they're just opinions and not facts. And that's what I enjoy doing. And I like to have energy. I like to make videos, fun to listen to, fun to watch. Like, I feel like I see so many people, who report on this shit be so fucking doom and gloom. Like, oh, it's so far away, guys. It's never gonna happen. Shut the fuck up, bro. You ain't gonna be positive. Don't be saying shit. Just be positive. Be fucking happy. It's gonna happen. I hate the people who are like nothing ever happens. Bro, you can deny it all you. There are people who and I just saw this on Twitter today, who genuinely do not believe that HLX is real. They think it's all bullshit. It's all peddled by people like Tyler McVicker or whatever, and that it's all fake, and that Half-Life 3 is not in development. They genuinely believe this. They really believe that this is the case. This is what they say. This is what they all say. It's not coming out. It's fake, guys. It's fake. It's fake. Okay, dude. Whatever you say, we know what we're talking about. We know what we're looking at. You don't understand it clearly. You're fucking LARPing. Like, you're fucking lying. Like, we know if you're in the Valve community as a bit like an enthusiast, whatever, at all, you will understand that this is the process. You will understand the strengths of code we look at, etc., and that you know that we're in the works with this. That this is just how it goes. The people who are saying that nothing ever happens shit are fucking LARPing. They're not real. They're just don't fucking listen to them. They don't listen to them because they don't know what they're fucking talking about. And they're doing it for fucking attention. Any real Valve enthusiast knows this is how it goes and that shit's going on right now. Don't listen to these fucking liars, okay? I hate that. I hate people who try to spread the negativity. Like, what? Like, why? I know it's rage bait. I know, like, they're trying to get rises out of people. But it's like, why do you gotta ruin it for people? Especially people who don't know not to listen to you and are gonna be like, oh man, it's not gonna, like, don't fucking ruin it for people. Like, don't be an asshole, But, like, what can I say? It's just kind of what we deal with in the Valve community. But I think after Half-Life 3, we're gonna see kind of a culling in the community. Like, I feel like a sizable chunk of Valve's following in the past couple of years, especially when news ramps up, like we saw with the Hopium back in late last year. Like a million, like thousands of people come out of the woodwork. It's like, oh yeah, guys, I've been waiting to, and they're all fucking lying. They're all LARPing just for attention, just to be part of it. Um, you know, but I think once Half-Life 3 comes out and like it blows over, at like the like after like the next like 6 months to a year, it's gonna calm down, and the only people left are gonna be people who are true enthusiasts of Valve, like me and whoever else. Like a lot of the people who are just here for Half-Life 3 or who are just acting like they give a shit are gonna be gone. They're not gonna care anymore. It's just gonna be the people who are enthusiasts, and so that's gonna be interesting to see what the community's like after Half-Life 3 and what the dynamic's gonna be. I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see it. I think it'll be a better and like less toxic environment. Honestly, I think it'll be better. No more bullshitting. No more like bothering people about it. It's like we can just chill and enjoy. But yeah. Not that I'm hating on people who are not enthusiasts, but there's that group of people who aren't enthusiasts who are assholes and just ruin it for people. So, you know, but I'm ranting. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all listening to me for the 30th. I don't know what video we're on. I gotta count that. And yeah, I'm excited to play Half-Life 3 just like you are. Yeah. So apart from that, I will see you guys in the next video. I'll be doing more Steam hardware shit when Steam Frame gets announced. I know Steam Frame didn't get announced at the same time as the machine, like I said it would. I was wrong. We were wrong about that. It'll probably get announced like I don't know, like late July. I don't know, some shit like that. But I'll do more Steam hardware when the Frame comes out, etc. Do another video like we always do, which for each product. And yeah. This will probably be the last HLX video for a while. It's been what, like 6 months? No, because it was what, December. So it's no. It's 7 months. Yeah, because I did it in late December. So it's been over half a year since my last HLX video, which speaks to the drought we've been having in updates and information. We've had nothing. It's been very bland. So we're kind of coming back now. We got some more information now, and you know, we'll see what happens, but glad to be back doing this. This will be my last. The next HLX video I make probably will be much later this year when shit starts kicking up again with information. So it's going to be a little while. Unless something sporadically happens, which I doubt will, but you never know. But yeah. So apart from that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.